Cognitions, speaking the unspeakable with JP. What were you doing?
It's Stacy D. No, you didn't hear Mr. Walker say, oops.
I am JP Crowder.
Oh, my goodness.
I am here with the one and only Stacy D. Love, and we are broadcasting here on KUAW Radio.
And what do the KUAW stands for, JP?
Knowledge, understanding,
and wisdom.
That's right. The number to call into the show is 816-599-6893. If you are watching the show on YouTube or Facebook, the number will be across the ticker, run across the top of your screen.
And please hit like and share.
If you are on Facebook and you have any comments on the show, please enter them in the chat and we will get to those.
And Mr. Walker's going to let us know.
All right, so coming up after our check-in, we have...
What is the question of the day?
After mental health and illness in the news, the question of the day today is, I accidentally had sex with my ex-husband. Should I tell my boyfriend? Now, I hope we have time because I have a bonus question of the day that is going to be short and easy for us to answer if we can get to it today. If not, we can do it next week. But what it is how do I explain gender fluid to my children?
Ooh.
Okay.
Let's do that next week.
It's quick.
It really is quick.
Yeah.
Okay.
If we have time, we can get to it.
Because don't forget, we get to do our bonus.
We do have the bonus segment.
My bonus dating stuff. So I got to be a representative.
Is there a lot for the bonus segment today?
No, well, we need to do something with it.
Okay.
I got like 300 people out there liking me.
This is true. Okay, what's your check-in for today, Stacy?
Okay, my check-in today is...
I'm pulling up all your men.
No, I only have one. But all them extras. The extras. Okay, you guys. So, my check-in is like really... It hurt my feelings a little bit. So I went to church. Well, everybody know I go to church. So I went to church on Sunday, and me and one of my besties, hey Brenda, we went to church, and we always have brunch or lunch. Really, we have brunch because I love breakfast. I love breakfast. Mind you, man, if I take you out, I'm taking you to breakfast because it's the cheapest meal.
Not Sunday brunch is not.
Not to say brunch. I said breakfast.
Okay.
We're going to breakfast. We're not going to brunch at Harvey's or nothing like that. We're doing breakfast.
Okay.
So anyway, no, I'm just playing. But anyway, so she was like, oh, I don't want any breakfast today. Let's have lunch. And I was like, okay, what you want? And she said, I want some Gates. And she's like, Stacey, don't be looking like that. I'm like, okay, can we go on State Line?
Why was she look? What were you looking? You didn't want Gates?
No, I wanted breakfast.
Oh.
But I compromised because that's my sister. So I compromised. Okay. And I was like, okay, can we go on State Line? And here she goes. She's like, there you go, being all uppity and stuff, acting like that. She's like, you from 4th and Quindaro and I'm from 6th Street. We got this.
Which, I forgot about the Gates out on State Line. It's way out.
Yes, but it's the best one.
Okay, which, she wanted to go to one of the hood gates. Which one?
12th Street.
Okay. What, did something happen?
Yes, something happened.
Really?
Yes.
What
the
happened?
reason why I didn't want to go on 12th Street. So we're in the line, we're getting our food. First, the hostess or the waitress or whatever, the girl behind the counter taking our order was GHETTTTTTO.
Okay.
But I maintain, remind you, I just went to church. It was good, talking about your season, You
still in the spirit.
I'm still trying to stay in the spirit. And she was nasty, and we just ignored it. And I just want to tell my friend, I told you, let's go on State Line. So then this guy came in, and, he was checking me and my friend out,
Because y'all had y'all Sunday go to meeting clothes on.
But we actually dressed down Sunday.
Oh, okay.
We dressed down Sunday. And he was checking us out. I'm like, dog, you know he looking at you. She's like, there, girl, whatever. So then he comes. So everybody know how Gacy's has that little wooden thing. So I guess they said, come on, the next person in line, come to the next register. And he like came behind me and my friend and jumped everybody in line.
Okay.
So everybody was like upset and stuff. And you know me, I'm like, yeah, he jumped y'all. And then he turns around and tells me to shut up.
Really?
Yeah. He told
This
me to
is the
shut up.
guy that was initially giving flirtatious looks.
Yeah, but I wasn't giving him nothing, no. Me or my friend. we
He
wasn't.
went from flirtatious looks to cutting people and saying shut up.
Yeah. Tell me
Wow.
to shut up. So I was like, I'm a grown woman. I say whatever I want to say, when I want to say it, who I want to say it, and how I want to say it. But I kept it real good because I didn't say any cuss words. And then he called me a B. But mind you, I'm 50-something years old, so the B word do not bother me unless it's my significant other. If my significant other called me a B, then it's on and cracking. But any other man calls me a B, it's nothing.
I'm thinking about how this whole incident would have played out back in the day.
Back in the day. And my friend, boy, I told her to him, like, friend, if you wasn't feeling well, you know I would have got him. She was all nervous because she knew how to do get down.
Back in the day,
Back in the day. And
he'd have been punched 3-4 times.
that's the reason why
immediately.
I don't carry my gun.
Okay.
Because I would have straight slapped him with my gun.
Okay. So, but we got a older D now.
A older,
Stacy
more
D's
mature.
older. This is not the Stacy D that I went to high school with
Not
that
at
was
all.
punching faces on a regular basis. Okay.
Didn't do that. And you know, so he just kept on like poking the bear. And I was just like, you know what, you calling me a B means nothing because you are nothing. And your mama's a B because and he just kept on going back and forth with me like he was a chick. Like really a chick. So what type of man did your mama raise for you to just continue sitting up and talking to me like that? So, it could have really got bad because I could have called my grown sons. They could have came down there. It could have got really bad. So this right here is just about you understanding and knowing your place and not putting other people in your mix because it could have gotten really, really bad. But we were able to handle it. The cooks and security came, calmed him down, and then y'all know Stacy D is no punk. So when he got through getting his food, I'm right here by him. We was like this close, and I mean mugged him.
Oh my Lord.
And he kept on walking, but y'all didn't see my mean mug.
Okay.
And kept on walking. So I was talking to her about my daughters, and they was just like, Mom, we really think that maybe he just didn't know how old you were. That he really thought you and Miss Brenda was some little young girls, which, we do look good for our age.
Not that makes it acceptable.
It doesn't make it any better.
Or appropriate.
But, yeah, he maybe would have gave me a little bit more respect if he knew that I probably was old enough to be his mama.
Right. Here's the bigger issue in this. Here's the bigger issue in this situation.
We should have went to state, Brenda.
Well, and that's really the bigger issue that we as a people that we even have to think about, okay, do we need to go eat in a predominantly white area? Because for those of you listeners and viewers who are not from here, the other restaurant, the other Gates restaurant that she's talking about, this way out on State Line Road, it is in a more affluent, predominantly white area. And even though this is a black-owned restaurant, that's where it's located. And I'm wondering if, from a business perspective, if they chose that location for that particular reason, for people who want to be able to have their food but do not want to have to go down in
With
the
the
hood.
riffraff.
But for us as African Americans, I think it's a shame that we even have to think about not going to a restaurant that's in a predominantly black neighborhood or the inner city or the urban core, that we reach certain, it's not even because we reach certain positions in life. It's like
You just don't want the mess.
Because imagine Imagine someone with kids who decided they wanted to, or if you would have had your grandbaby there and you decide, okay, I want Gates and I have a choice. I can go to the Gates that is in the more affluent area of town that happens to be predominantly white, or we can go down in the hood. But look what happened.
When you go into the hood.
And while this was happening, I'm sure there had to be some kids in that restaurant somewhere.
Probably was. I didn't know
that
this.
overheard and witnessed this exchange. The fact that he interacted with you all like that he called you a B, like the whole thing. Imagine standing there with your kids, young kids, and that played out. That's really the big.
It would have been all bad.
It would have been all bad.
It would have really got all bad.
And that's a problem.
Yeah.
That is a problem.
But it was a couple of gentlemen that was sitting there, and they came and apologized for him.
Right.
They
Did
came
you
and
even
apologized.
experience that?
They came. It was two gentlemen that came. It was like, y'all looking all good and y'all Sunday's best. And I really, I'm sorry that y'all had to endure that. And I was like, yes.
And here's something to think about when it comes to people who look negatively upon black folks who avoid patronizing businesses that are in the urban core, that are in the inner city. When you think about it, why should anybody have to subject themselves to that? And we as a people spend a lot of time focusing on racism and the impact of racism. I want us to spend as much time focusing on how we treat each other. Because that is a problem also. So we not only have to focus on experiencing racism when we are outside of our communities, but then when we're within our community, we have to think about and be concerned about being victimized by our own people. And in a lot of ways, that is as harmful as racism, because if you talk to black folks who live in the inner city, a lot of them will tell you that they have experienced more negative experiences at the hands of their own people than incidents of racism. Now, they have decreased incidents of racism because they live in the inner city. They're not able to drive 25 minutes to the Gates that's off of State Line Road. Okay, they have no option but to go to the Gates that's in the hood. But these are the types of things that people have to worry about being subjected to. We as a people need to focus on that and hold ourselves accountable. Stop spending so much time focusing on what, white America, white racist America is doing to us, and do something about what we do to each other.
Do to ourselves. Yeah, it was sad.
And you ended up being right. I bet you next time she's craving Gates, she gonna say, we probably need to go out on State Line.
Because she was so nervous and upset. I ate. I didn't have no problem eating. Mm-hmm. But my my sister was so upset, and her nerves had went to 50 that she couldn't even enjoy the meal.
Right.
Right. I love you, but I didn't have no problem with eating at all. And and the ribs were cold.
I'm not a Gates person. So
and our beef was cold.
I'm not gonna comment on Gates.
And our fries was cold. Everything we got was cold. We had to send everything back and get everything back again. But yeah. And then also, our listeners, I do want to apologize for eating my Tootsie Rolls and smacking in everyone's ears last week. But to my defense, let me tell you something.
I don't think this is a big deal, Stacy, but go ahead. You did. It was a pile of wrappers. Yeah. You tore up Tootsies.
I did.
I'm craving Tootsies right now.
Yeah, we got a whole bag. We just can't have them till after the show.
Okay,
everybody. But I'm working on my body right and tight.
And
it's right and tight.
Go ahead, D.
And I hadn't ate anything. I was out and about, forgot to pack my lunch, and the Tootsie Rolls was good. And I
Stacy,
just
I don't
ate 'em
think
up.
this is a big deal. Here's what happened.
No, it was a couple of people because they hit me up on. They was texting me.
And here's the thing. I should not have told you that. Something told me after I told you that. I was like, she's gotten kind of sensitive in her old. This is not the face punching Stacy D from back in the day. Because back in the day, you would have been like, F them or something like that.
When you know better, you do better.
After I told you, I was like, I don't think
Am I
I should have
sensitive?
told her that because I don't want her. It happened. Like, we keep it so real on this show that, okay, the D was snacking on, she was smacking and snacking.
But everybody,
on
I brought my
Tootsies.
protein shake, so I'll be snipping on my protein shake today because I'm still working on writing tight. I have an engagement on April 1st, so I got to have it writing tight.
Okay. Well, here's my thoughts. You do not typically smack on candy on air
We usually don't have no
into the
candy.
microphone. So, you know, we can move on. But one of your own best friends was.
I know. A couple of them was texting me like, really, Fig? I was like, I was hungry. Sorry.
You told him Tootsie's up.
I was mad because we can't eat them till after, but that's all right. I'll be ready. Okay, well, let me give y'all check-in,
I have a
JP.
very brief check-in because we're trying to cover a lot today. The good news is last week alone, I made over $1,000 in profits on my oil stocks. Did I tell you to buy oil? I told you to
No,
buy
I didn't
oil.
buy no oil.
I
didn't tell
told
me
you to buy oil.
oil.
The whole pandemic, everyone. I have been telling Stacy.
I bought everything else you told me to buy, but I did not buy any oil.
I know I had to tell you about oil. The oil stocks are the one stocks that have consistently done well throughout the whole pandemic. So now we're in this oil crisis. I made like $1,000 in profits on my oil stocks. The problem is I went to the gas station to fill up the car, and hell, it took the $1,000 to fill up the car.
No. And I drive a Mini Cooper. And I hate going to the gas station. This one lady was like, okay, how much is it going to cost for you to? I said $60 because I do premium.
You have to.
Yes.
You can't put anything else in that car.
It's $60. And it's $20 if I'm on a quarter, if I'm a quarter down, 3/4. Okay,
Right.
what else you got, JP?
Okay, I do have one more. This isn't a check-in. This is more of an idea. I think we should come up with another bonus segment called We Tried It.
We tried it. What we try?
Anything from, and I think we should take suggestions from our listeners and our viewers on different things to try. It can be anything from, you know, like a new business that is open. Go try out whatever they're you know,
I like that.
feeding people with.
Guess what?
Or
It's only 2 people that got to make the decision. It's done.
there you go.
There you go.
It can be a young author who has written a book and we can review the book, but I want us to also be willing to try some things that are a little outside the box.
Risque.
D.
You know, I like risque.
Well, I didn't say risque. You see, you. I didn't say, because see, then
I love coming up
then
out the
you
box.
now if we do risque, you gonna end up having to drop it like it's hot again and some things like that. Okay, and so I'm not sure about risque. I was thinking some more adventurous things,
Like,
like
go on, just say it.
indoor skydiving,
I already done it.
outdoor skydiving.
I already done it.
Are you kidding me?
Remember, I don't drink or gamble, so that's where I get my high from.
And listen to this, everyone. I am, myself and 3 others are in the process of launching a podcast. I presented this idea to them, but everything I came up with, they were like, I ain't doing that.
Oh, I love
I ain't doing that.
adventures. I love adventures.
I don't want to do that. And I said to them, I'm just do this with Stacy D because she has
And
an
what they say,
adventurous
and she's
brave
ignorant and she'll
spirit.
do it.
I don't think they believe me that I was like, the D is not scared.
No, not scared.
And so I'm like, I ain't doing it on that show because they don't want to do anything. I knew the D would be down.
Yeah, I mean, I do it again. I took my grandkids to Sky Zone and all that.
Well, one of the other things that I was thinking about, because I've noticed on commercials lately, they are having more and more male actors and models and patients doing these commercials about different cosmetic procedures. I guess it's okay now for men to be worried about their wrinkles and this and that and this and that. And this is gonna sound bad.
So you finna go get some wrinkles removed?
No. Do I have wrinkles?
You gonna go put some hair? You gonna get some
I
hair?
didn't even
growth?
know I had wrinkles.
I know, like
But
right here.
no, I need to get some fat sucked out.
Are you? They say that hurt.
I'm ready to try. What? Get a little fat sucked out? But from what I have heard, you can either do crunches for the rest of your life, or
That's
you
what I
can
do.
totally remove those fat cells.
You know they can come back.
Do they come? I don't think they come back.
They come back.
You get fat, they come back.
They come back.
I still want to do it.
It be some new fat cells. The old fat cells, they gone.
But
some new.
I got to get some fat sucked out. I'm going to be too old to be in the gym. Like I spend hours in the gym.
I'm in the gym all the time now.
Okay, but as you get older, you can't be doing all that.
Well, my son says I go to the gym to have an audience.
We are going. Well, yeah, we talked about that last. No, to entertain. He said you're entertaining.
I'm entertaining
in the gym.
people. I'm entertaining.
But you probably appreciate an audience also, D. She likes an audience. She got an audience right now.
Sure do.
Y'all see how she act on this show.
I just be doing me though.
That's all we want you to do. All right, that's my check-in.
Cool.
Let's get to mental health and illness in the news.
Okay, what time is it? Okay, you have 10 minutes.
Okay, it's not even going to take that long. In Miami,
MIA.
this is spring break time.
Yes,
Miami
yes.
Beach, Florida is under a state of emergency with a midnight curfew because of spring breakers. Now, people are probably thinking, well, they're probably getting a little wild, getting a little rambunctious. They're shooting people. 5 people have gotten shot in the past 2 days by spring breakers. They basically are out there not acting like college students, acting like your random around the way criminals. And so I think to discourage spring breakers from coming back next year, they have this 12 p.m. curfew in place. They're shooting up the place.
It don't get started till 12 a.m.
That will stop college students from going there.
I wonder
because
where
the
they're going
residents hate spring break. They're
I
like,
bet they do.
we got to deal with all these young
Especially I done
people.
came here, I done retired down here, and now I got all this mess.
We got fools shooting and looting. It's out of control. All right, let's get to the question of the day.
Oh, was that it?
No, I got several news stories, but we ain't got time for them. Because I really want us to try to get to the other bonus segment.
Okay.
Oh, there's always plenty of mental
Craziness
illness
in the news.
We just ain't going to do it all today.
Okay.
All right. I accidentally had sex with my ex-husband. Should I? I'm sorry. This is not funny, by the way. Should I tell my boyfriend? Okay. Stacy D, this is why this is a good question. I remember back in the day,
I
I had a no free passes on cheating rule. And in every relationship, I always made it clear, if you cheat even once, we're done. I'm walking away. I'm not looking back.
He can be so mean.
And here's what has happened, though. Because I've been married for years now. And as I look
How
back
many
on
years?
it-
Hold on, time out. How many years?
Well, 10. But, we was together a decade before that. Here's my thought. I now wonder, did that actually prevent me from getting cheated on, or did it prevent me from finding out about it? Because if you tell someone, if you cheat on me, we done, we through for good. I'm walking away. I ain't looking back. That's just going to prevent them from the open disclosure of letting you know. So for all I know, I may have gotten cheated on. But you never knew. The one time that I know of
that you got cheated on.
I followed through on what I said. She told me she cheated, and I walked away. I ended it. I walked away.
So what do you consider cheating? Is it the whole act of sex, or
this
what?
This is interesting. Men and women have two different definitions of cheating. Now, you have men, you have women, and then you have therapists, which is a whole nother definition. Men's definition of cheating is putting the penis in the vagina. That's it. Or putting the penis somewhere. The penis got to go somewhere in order for a man to consider it cheating. Now,
you could have said it a different type of way. You know we have a guest in the studio.
Okay. Stacy D. Stacy D brought her grandbaby into the space.
I'm babysitting. Can y'all
Knowing we speak the unspeakable.
I know. Can you? Dre, are you okay?
She all right?
Okay. I mean, listen, I am her honey. and this is how I live all day.
For those of you who do not know, honey means she's grandma, granny.
That's my daughter's child.
Grandmama.
That's what honey is.
Medea. All these names for... What's my daughter's child?
My daughter's child.
What if the kids want, because you done got us off track, her ADHD, what if the kids want to call you grandma? Remember all of those interviews that the Jacksons have done, and they struggled with Joe Jackson not allowing them to call him dad, father, pops, something. My name is Joseph. My name is Joseph. And like, didn't you see some of the interviews? They were like, we were not allowed to call him dad. Your grandbaby probably wants to call
They have
you
other
grandma.
She has. Don't you have a grandmother somewhere? Yeah, she has.
She got a grandmother sitting right here too.
No, she doesn't. Her what you call your mother's daddy? What you call
Grandpa?
You call him Papa, right? Papa and
She
Grandpa.
said Papa.
So what do you call his wife?
Grandma.
There you go. Oh, and also
Nene.
Well, she has a whole lot. She has Nene, Nana.
Out of all of your grandkids, how do you know that you do not have one that just wants to say grandma? But no, my grandma trying to be thinny thick and thin and thicky thin and hot stuff, and we got to call her honey instead of calling her grandma, granny, mama, Medea.
They have those on the other side. They know honey. They know what honey means. What do honey means?
Grandma.
Ching, ching. Honey means money, honey.
Honey means money.
Honey means money.
Why are you pregnant the baby? What in the world?
Honey means money. So they know I'm the one that they can call and they can get whatever they want. You can have whatever you like.
As long as they don't call you grandma.
Yeah, and they know, and they'll tell you, no, that's not grandma, that's honey. Ain't that right, George? Right? They'll let you know, no, that's not grandma, that's honey.
Oh, I can tell by the look on her face, she want to call her grandma.
Do you want to call me grandma? And all her friends call me honey.
That is cute.
But honey to me is like really, and I know we off track again. Honey is like really something that's sacred because my great grandmother, her nickname was Honey Babe, so we called her Mama Honey Babe. So I took that, and she's the one that raised me. So I take that honey, and that's what I wanted my grandchildren to call me was honey. So I still have some of my because I'm not near about the type of grandmother or great grandmother that Mama Honey Babe was. Not even this much. I don't do no babysitting.
But what's interesting, this is not about vanity. This is not about Stacy D wanting to be keeping it young, keeping it tight, keeping it right, keeping it thick, keeping it dropping it like it's hot and all that. Your knees really can't probably do that anymore. But my point is,
I used to.
She did. I saw her. This is not about vanity. This is like a family legacy thing. And I don't know if you all were able to hear Stacy's granddaughter, but this was really sweet. She said, I like saying that's my honey.
That's my honey.
That's really sweet. Can we get back to the question of the day?
You the one went off on. Okay, come on. Okay, so do people think Joel got cheated on?
When I did, I ended it like I said.
Okay, but so we were really at the point about what do you consider cheating, and then you was breaking it down to the men, the women, and a therapist.
Okay. Men consider cheating to be some type of sexual contact, but women have a broader definition of cheating that includes emotional cheating. Now, something I have noticed, because I'm frequently talking about the evolution of man, men have evolved a lot. Men are much more in touch with their inner workings, their inner psyche. They're in touch with their emotions more. Fathers are able to hug their sons and tell them they love them. Like, modern man has really moved forward. And something I've noticed in therapy is that men are also saying, no, she emotionally cheated. Mm-hmm. And so I'm like, I'm surprised you even know what that means. He like, she has a male friend and they are connecting. This is the definition of emotional cheating. They are connecting on some emotional levels that she is not connecting with me on. This man is fulfilling some needs within my woman that really should be reserved for me. And so even though she is
you have to keep them special.
Right. And so even though she's not having sex with him, he is experiencing
relationship.
Yes. And he is experiencing a part of my woman that should be reserved for me. That is emotional cheating.
That's good.
Okay. So this question.
But they actually did do the do.
They did the do. And here's something. It's hard to answer this question because for me, as a therapist, I can't encourage people to not be open and honest with each other and disclose things and be honest. But the reason why this is a difficult decision for a lot of people is I have seen couples in therapy where there was a single isolated incident of cheating 10, 15, 20 years ago, and they told their spouse, and the spouse has never been able to forgive. They are stuck.
Just stuck.
Has never been able to forgive, never been able to move beyond it, is still policing them. And so we'll be sitting there in couples therapy, and they're talking about it, and I'm thinking, okay, this must have just happened. And okay, how long ago did this happen? 20 years ago. 15 years ago. And so I'll say, well, wait a minute. Was there other incidents of cheating since then? And it's usually the male who is like, no. And she knows I am not cheating. She has never forgiven me. She reminds me of it on a regular basis for the past 15 years. And in those instances, I have to admit, I have thought he shouldn't have told her. So here's my answer to the question on should you tell your boyfriend. It really, you have to look at multiple factors. One, how long have you been divorced from the husband? Because obviously you and the husband still have some chemistry and something between the two of you in order for this to happen. How long have you been with the boyfriend? Is this a new relationship, or have you guys been together for years? And also, are you a regular chronic cheater, or was this an isolated incident? Because if this was an isolated incident and you don't have a history of cheating and you feel like you can work through this, and you're in a relationship with someone who cannot handle the truth, because that's what this is about, is whether or not the current partner can handle the truth, or are they going to torture you and beat you over the head with it for the next 10, 15, or 20 years? That's what you have to look at in deciding whether or not to tell your boyfriend about cheating with the ex-husband. What are your thoughts, D?
I've been thinking about this ever since you called me. Well, no, ever since you texted me the other day. First of all, I don't think that you could accidentally have sex. It's not an accident. Oop, I fell on it.
Y'all kind of wonder. I kind of wonder how this accidentally
happened.
Maybe there was liquor involved.
Blame it on alcohol.
When people do these things under the influence of alcohol and drugs, they oftentimes wake up the next morning feeling legitimately like, oh my goodness, this was a mistake. What happened last night? And then they find, please tell me did I do that one trick that I know? Oh Lord, I did that too. And so they consider that to be an accident. They consider it to be an accident.
Okay, that's what you. I don't consider that an accident, but it is what it is. And I myself have never been intoxicated before, so I can't even fathom that. I can't.
You can't fathom the how was it an accident part.
Yeah,
but
and even on the alcohol, I just feel as though I do what I want to do when I want to do it. That's what grown women do. Women do what they want. Girls do what they can. Okay, so if I'm just gonna put me in the equation. Okay.
Okay.
One, he's X for a reason, because evidently he didn't treat me right, or I didn't treat him right. And I have finally got a loosen of that love and that power. And I don't want to go back into that madness. And that's me thinking in a clear mind. So therefore, we don't really even, it's going to take a while for us to even get a friendship back together, probably. And I'm speaking from the D's point of view, okay? So, but
there's
biblical chemistry in what? With the ex?
Obviously, between that ex, there is something still
It just might just be the love.
And you're right. They're ex for a reason.
We're ex for a reason.
Which means they weren't a good fit, obviously, in a lot of other ways. But what if they were always sexually a good fit? Because I know someone who her parents were divorced and married to other people, and for decades they periodically
had hookups,
the full oochie coochie.
For real? Well, like I said, I can't speak for anyone else. I can only speak for the D. Your ex for a reason. I'm not going back there for nothing. And if I have found someone that I'm thinking about getting in a relationship with, because I take relationships a real relationship, but I do want to say one thing, that I really don't owe the boyfriend nothing, because, okay, let me say this the right way. Like, I'm not gonna say nothing.
He's a boyfriend.
He's a boyfriend.
Something.
He's just a boyfriend.
Okay, but you can't cheat on somebody because they ain't your husband yet.
That's why I used to look at things, but now I understand about you have to build.
A boyfriend deserves to be able to trust his woman.
Oh, most definitely.
To not be screwing her ex or anybody else.
Nobody. If that's your real boyfriend, if you're really, really into them. Because some people just get boyfriends just like, oh, I got a boyfriend. Because some women can't stand to be by themselves. Right. And some men. So they will go out and just have someone just so they say they with someone. You understand what I'm saying too?
But if you are in that relationship,
then they
regardless of these underlying psychological components that Stacy D is bringing out, if you are calling that person your boyfriend, your girlfriend, you are supposed to be faithful to that person.
I agree.
You don't get to hook up with your ex.
I agree. I mean, I wouldn't hook up with my ex anyway, but I agree. I mean, I have an ex, and I don't want him no more. I don't want y'all better be glad I'm not at home, because I sure put on my song. I don't want you no more right now.
The last time you played a song on this show, we got in trouble.
Oh yeah, we did. Okay, but no. And you know what? Now my partner, who I'm like developing a relationship with or whatever, what have you, those are things that I think that you need to really discuss in the beginning, because I'd rather for you to let me know. I mean, he was the one that actually brought it up to me.
Brought what up?
if he accidentally had sex with someone else, what I want to know. And I was like, yeah. I'm like, because
That's
I
a good
want to
conversation
because
to
I
have.
want to work through it. And if I can't work through it, then I'm gonna let you go.
But here's the question, though. Can you handle the truth? Because, like I
Come
said,
on now.
like I said,
Come on now.
well, you can.
Can
handle
you
the
handle?
truth.
Hell, I don't know.
Well, because I have always wanted people to be open and honest. To withhold the truth is a lie by omission, which is the same as a bald-faced lie.
Bald-faced lie.
But we do have to think about some people cannot handle the truth, and it ends up destroying the relationship in a situation where
and
it was a
sometimes the
single,
person.
isolated. Here's the thing about cheaters. Cheaters know if they are a regular chronic cheater or if it was an isolated incident. Now, there are different types of cheaters, and Stacy D and I we have to redo, because we did a whole show on the different types of cheaters, and there was
good.
technological difficulties. I didn't scrap that show.
You didn't? Oh, okay.
No, it was
It was a good show.
The station scrapped the show. It was drastically wrong. We got to redo it. There are different types of cheaters, and we're going to redo that show. But what I will say is there is a type of cheater where it's an isolated incident. They're not a chronic cheater, and the chances are great that they will go the rest of the relationship without ever cheating again. If they are in a relationship with someone who has insecurities and struggles to forgive and move forward.
So you think those are insecurities that the person can't move forward from the cheating incident?
Oftentimes,
or maybe
it is
the person
because they've been cheated on before.
Exactly.
And
that's when
where
the baggage
comes.
and the damage comes.
Yes.
And that's when you come out of those type of relationships, you need to have time to heal. We done gone on a whole nother subject, haven't we?
Well, you about to take us down a whole nother QOD, but we don't have time.
Okay, we're not going to time for that. So, Stacy's question of the day is, answer of the question of the day is, would I tell my mate if I accidentally fell on the D? Yes, I would. And I'll be so sorry.
Because you know he can handle the truth. Because y'all had that conversation.
Because we had that conversation. He probably couldn't handle the conversation because he'd be asking me, well, how did you do it, baby? Did you do this? Did you do this like this to me?
But did he
you do this,
say
this
he
to
can
me?
handle the truth?
We didn't go that deep into it. We just said we would like to know.
That's only scratching the surface.
Sometimes you only need to scratch. We might go deeper.
This is new love. I suggest
It's
y'all
like
go deeper.
It's like
Yeah. I like. Yeah. This is new like. Okay. It's not enough to say, would you like to know? Because in all these couples that I have seen, they wanted to know, but they could not handle the information, and they ended up torturing their spouse for years over an isolated incident. Can y'all revisit that? And you ask him, can you actually handle that information? If I were to cheat and I tell you, are you going to be able to forgive? Are you going to be able to move forward? Are you going to be able to allow me to earn trust again? Or are you always going to look at me like I'm that cheater and look at me with distrust and police me like you need to find out if he can handle the truth? Are those comments? I don't have my glasses on.
Oh, it is. That's why. Okay. Have you always said me and doubt little coward wouldn't have said it? Okay, hold on a minute.
Stacy D, you had that eye surgery. Why can't you read those comments?
The colors all up in it. Oh, somebody said she's thickums.
Okay, hold on. Okay, here are the comments from our viewers. I say don't tell. Men can't handle knowing.
Really?
Someone.
Say that, friend?
That's someone
I say,
who
don't
agreed
tell
with
me
what
anything.
you said. Stop shaking that camera, D. D.
Okay, somebody said that's good.
Okay, and so in looking at some of the comments, the ones that I can see,
And thank you for the
they're saying don't.
don't tell.
Wow.
But what if it come back to bite you?
That comment that men can't handle.
Men can't
knowing,
handle the truth.
let's talk about that for a minute. The viewer who typed that, men do not handle being cheated on as well
Not
as women
well.
do. That is actually
we've been
the truth.
cheated on for years and years. Wait a minute, I had somebody say I didn't seen women who men have who have brought babies into their marriage and they didn't go anywhere.
Oh, I've seen that a lot.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So
I've seen, yes, I have seen that a lot. That men have cheated and made a baby, and that relationship stayed intact. But if a woman gets pregnant by another man, she can expect a divorce.
most definitely can't handle it.
Yeah, and
Well, a lot of them can't handle it.
well, you presented a reason just now that women are more accustomed to it because women have been getting cheated on for years, which means that men are not as used to it. But here's something: men need to get more used to it because women are cheating more and more and more. And I need to
Don't be looking over
I
at
need
my
to bring
phone.
up the recent stats. I can't see that far. That women, statistically, women are cheating about as much as men.
How about women always been cheating?
You're right.
We always been
It just
cheating.
wasn't known.
It just wasn't known, and we are even best. We got a caller. Oh, the professor said because they're dumb that we're smarter than them.
But the other reason why men don't handle it very well is the male ego is thrown totally off track when men are cheated on because men cannot believe. I can't believe this woman
that
actually
she
cheated on
did that with me.
Because men are like, I know I got it going on way too well for this woman to have cheated on me.
And guess what? We always level up, and y'all level down.
Also, when you confront a man, he can't. He mess up. He don't have his story
Well,
right.
Mr. Professor, sound like you true to this and not new to this, huh?
What the professor said is men don't do well with even trying to explain themselves around when it comes to cheating. Like they don't have their story together. Maybe women have not gotten caught as much because they're more skilled at cheating.
Possibility.
It's easier for women to get away with it because men cannot fathom that they're gonna be cheated on, so they're not even looking for it.
They sure can't.
I wish you could see the rest of those comments.
But that's why you got to take care of him. I don't think anyone can handle the truth. Yes, we have. Yes, we have. We have just better. We're better at it. Woo wee.
A woman said that.
Really say that. Head. What does that say? Really
Stacy D, you all the way off camera.
say that, friend.
Professor, can you read those comments on the air?
Okay, I got a lot of them.
Read the ones that agree with me.
None.
You all been men doubt that Little Coward would have said a word. What advice do you have for my kids?
What advice do you have?
What advice do you have for my children? What does that mean?
I don't tell men that can't handle knowing.
Oh, right. She's saying it depends on the man. She does not tell men who can't handle knowing. See, you and the guy that you're dating now, he wants to know. I think you still need to ask him, can he handle it?
I'm sure he's listening.
then he needs to comment or call in.
No, we're not gonna have him call in.
I'm gonna text him and ask
We're
him,
not gonna have him call in. He called in last week.
can he handle?
Can you handle the truth?
You know what?
But you know what? I really feel as though that also in relationships, if you're getting taken care of on all different levels,
That's a whole nother. You're talking about preventative measures that we don't even have time to go into. This person's question is, should I tell my boyfriend I slept with my ex-husband? Here's something to think about. When I think back to when I was a single person with my no free passes on cheating.
hold on, but when you were single, you was only dating one lady, or were you dating several, or was you exclusive, or were
If
you
I was
just
dating, that's not cheating. Because when I was just dating, I was always open and honest. I'm dating other people.
I'm dating other
and
people.
You need to be doing the same thing.
Ooh.
I'm not, and here's why this is important.
Well, I guess
I
I'm
did not
ready.
say it's okay for you to do the same thing, because there's a big difference between telling a woman it's okay for you to do the same thing because I'm dating other people. But there's a big difference between that and saying you need to be doing the same thing, because what that says to her is, I am definitely going to be dating other people, and I do not want you to read more into what's going on between the two of us than what is. So you need to be dating other people, because if you come
I done
across-
read all between those lines, y'all. He like what she do, but she's not the entire woman that he wants.
It didn't matter what the reason was that I wasn't exclusive. My point was, I don't want you to miss out on your Mr. Right by not dating
Doing the
other-
Mr.
because you messing around with me.
You messing with Mr. Right now that you might miss out on Mr. Right. Got you.
Right. So you need to be dating other people, because I don't want the pressure of
Guess
feeling
what?
like
I am Mrs. Right.
I didn't want the
But you
pressure
were young.
of feeling like she is possibly missing out on meeting her soulmate because she's putting all her eggs in my basket, but my basket is not holding her eggs. She is not the one for me.
But you enjoy
So I'm
kicking it
dating
with her
other
though.
people,
But you
and you
enjoy
need to be
kicking it
dating
with her
other
though.
people.
But you did enjoy kicking it with her though. Every now and again.
That's dating though. And I don't see anything wrong with dating other people. I think people rush into committing. People want to meet somebody and you all, enthused by them and, oh my goodness. And so then you want to have this committed relationship with them. People need to spend.
I don't think you should put titles on things.
People need to spend more time just dating and dating other people. There's nothing wrong with that. A woman is not a whore because she's dating other people. And a man is not a whore because he's dating other people either. Don't go
That
put
was
all
a
your
very
eggs in one
that was a
basket
very good
too
insight,
fast.
JP. That's some very good insight from a man.
You know, I was single for a long time.
You sure were. And there was a lot of women that was running behind him. It was like, why? I'm like, I don't know.
I was single for a while. And the other thing that I have to admit in thinking about this question, though, is because I had that no free passes, if you cheat, we're done. Obviously, I was not able to handle the information. Because I still wanted to know.
But then you broke up with him.
But I had made the mistake of making it clear that after you tell me, I'm dumping you. As I think back, it really was not the best way to handle things.
Yeah.
What would have been better would have been saying, I want to know, without promising that I could handle it, because I still would have ended the relationship. But what I should have done is said, I want to know. And then they tell me. And then I probably would have ended. Because I was ending the relationship. I don't do cheating.
You don't do cheating?
That's what, because we're talking about whether or not a person, men in particular.
So now you got me all confused. I don't know if I want to tell or not.
Well, yeah, because on the one hand, we're talking about, can a man handle the information that he's been cheated on. And then when you look deeper, is can a man even handle the fact that you cheated, let alone that you told him? And so those are the levels of the conversation. Do you want to know if I cheat on you? Can you handle it? Can you handle that I did it?
Wow. Then you got all those questions. Why?
Well, but there are multiple reasons why people cheat. We covered 4 different types of cheaters. We really need to redo that show.
Yeah, we're going to redo that show.
Because it fits with this.
You know, when we did that show, I was at a real good place, too. I was in a real bad place when we did that show. So we was able to get all up in it.
We got to redo it.
We got to redo it.
Okay. We only have a little bit of time for your bonus segment. We will do that other QOD, question of the day, next week. I'm going to talk about the difference between gender identity and gender fluidity. Because one is easier for kids to handle than the other. And we do have a growing population of gender fluid people. So we're going to cover all that.
And I'm really dealing a lot with that with my granddaughter right now.
Okay.
Yeah, so this will be real good. This is going to be real good. That's real good. That's why I was like, maybe we need to save it for next week because it was real good.
We can save it. Our bonus segment is the dating app. The dating app experiment with Stacy D. Okay, D.
What?
I narrowed down your people a little bit more.
Oh, really? What you narrowed down to now?
Well, remember you had, 250 men coming after you. Well,
because you know I'm hot.
I narrowed it down by narrowing.
We got one more thing. Men are visual. It will haunt them.
We passed that.
So they can't handle knowing. Yeah, men are visual.
Oh,
wondering how you getting.
Okay, hold on.
Wondering how you getting tossed up and thrown around.
We're not gonna get to your bonus segment if you read that.
Okay, come on.
Okay.
Bonus segment.
Okay.
We need to really get on top of this.
I narrowed it down by shrinking the distance of the people because you were getting men from all over the country and
all type of zip codes.
Yeah, I don't know what he was going to do with you. Well, actually, he said what he was going to do with you, but we can't talk about it on the air. No, I'm just kidding. He visits Kansas City periodically.
Oh, okay.
And so that's the reason why. But he's currently in Germany. But he did seem like a good candidate. I told him to hit you up when he comes to town. But you need to download this app because
we're gonna do it before we leave then.
You need to engage.
But you don't remember the doggone password or the.
But if this is what we're gonna do, you came up with the password first thing.
Oh, okay. What's the password I use all the time?
I have no idea.
Okay. What about the username?
It's Stacy D.
Okay. Guess we about to find out.
I have no idea, but. And we got to wrap up the show, but where Stacy D is at is when you are doing these dating apps, it is a process of narrowing down to the candidates that are going to be best suited for you. And so in taking a look at the men that are pursuing you, the men who do not have profile information, I think that they probably should be weeded out because
most definitely.
They're surfacey and superficial. The men with no clothes on, because you got a man on here, all he got on is a towel covering up his personals, so you know what he's looking for. And so what other ways, who else should be eliminated? That's the question.
I don't know. I guess we want to play with it.
Know.
Yeah. If you guys have anything to say, just put it in the chat so we can.
Here's the question. You all can hit us up in the chat and we'll look at it over the week. How do you narrow down the people pursuing you? How do you weed out? What are you weeding out based upon? Okay, that's our show for today. We would like to thank you all for joining us, and remember, worry about nothing
And pray about everything.
Thank you, and God bless.
Bye-bye now. That was a good show. Are we out?